So I'm gonna. Hello, Aram. How are you
How's
doing?
it going? I'm doing well, Tara. It's great seeing you again. I'm very excited for the opportunity to get to speak with you and Anita about the upcoming Tamagotchi connections, which is a huge deal. We are all absolutely ecstatic in the community. I mean, you can't even imagine how excited everybody is. I have had such an incredible number of people reach out saying, "Oh my gosh, are you going to be able to review?" And I was like, "I think so." And then I received the little guy in the mail just the other day. So thank you. And I got to
That would be
share
Miss Anita
with,
sending it to you.
thank you so much. And so I have a bunch of questions. Of course, I understand you won't be able to answer everything, but still going to be able to ask you regardless.
You're going to see what you
Um,
can get out of me, out of us, I
yes.
should say. So, just to introduce you, Anita is the brand manager on Tamagotchi Connection. She's been with us for almost a year and 3/4, almost at this point.
Yeah.
So,
Very
new
cool.
to the whole marketing world, she's kind of our connection to the young generation at the same time. So, with that, go right ahead and we'll see if myself or Anita can answer the questions.
Absolutely. So, thank you so much once again for the opportunity. I'm gonna go right ahead. I have a list of questions that
Uh-oh.
I have written down. So, nothing to be too nervous about, hopefully. So first I wanted to ask, I know we as the community have been, for lack of a better term, pestering you all with every
You have?
comment that you could see. Just a
Really?
little bit, I think,
Oh,
just a little bit. So every social media post you guys made, the comments, I think, were littered with, when are you releasing the connections? Are the connections coming back? And then everyone thought, oh, I guess it's just never going to happen. And then Bandai just dropped this huge news on us out of nowhere, and everybody has been shocked and bewildered, but at the same time, just reliving the nostalgia of the Connection series, which is unbelievably amazing. So I want to ask you about, what was the process like? Was it you guys seeing how much demand there was for the Connection re-release that made you reconsider? What was the process with that?
I'll let myself jump in at this moment.
Yeah.
On the big picture conversation. So, in fairness, well, social media, you guys are always after us, always asking about connection. We've been waiting for 20th anniversary, to be fair. So
Okay.
I will tell you, the fans helped us get it into retailers though, right? Because we would
Yes.
constantly be saying, they keep asking, they keep asking. We talk about Star Wars R2D2 when they're asking us, where's connection? We introduce new shells for original Tum and they're like, oh my gosh, so cute. I wish it was on a connection. Um, can't even remember. I mean, every product that we've put out, uni, same thing. The questions are out there. So it helped us really point out to our retailers how much the fans were really interested in it for sure. So we do completely appreciate the fan support in that regard, though we were planning it for the 20th anniversary. So
That's amazing.
totally
That's
burst your
amazing.
bubble. But we were excited to know that fans were excited. It always makes it easier to introduce new product when the fandoms are so much beyond, for us.
Yes.
So that was an exciting thing.
Yes, and those of us in the Tamagotchi community, we are absolute fans of, the Tamagotchi line. I mean, I've been in the community for 20 plus years and collecting for as long as I can remember. So this is huge for a lot of people. And a lot of people who might never have had the chance to try out the Connection series are also going to have the opportunity now to be able to try out and see why the older adults, as we call ourselves, have been so obsessed with this line and why it's so endearing to all of us. So, which is great. So I want to go ahead and jump into this little guy. I did notice some similarities between the original Connection B3 and this one. This seems to be, from what I gather, a melding of the V3 and like the K ties from Japan. So there's elements of both in them. I have noticed some similarities for sure. And I know that Bandai Japan also is going to be releasing the connection over in Japan as well. And they are releasing a different set of shell designs than the ones that we've seen here at Amazon, which I think there's always that sense of grass is greener on the other side type of thing, where I think we in the West want the Japanese shells and the people in Japan sort of want the Western shells. The question I wanted to ask is, will the Japanese ones also have the language selection option so that if some of us want to import it from Japan, can we still enjoy it in English?
I'll let Anita take the more specific connections ones to make sure I give you the correct data.
I mean, there is a selection, all the programming is the same, so you can choose between English and Japanese on all.
Great.
So that goes for the Japanese ones too.
That's great. So that means that those of us who actually love, because I don't know if you guys have followed our obsession with this online, probably not as much, but this shell in particular, the melon soda one, has been one that's absolutely the most popular shell in this line, and everybody is always obsessed with this. And we were so, thrilled to see that, oh my gosh, that's one of the shell designs that Japan decided to release. So everybody's kind of like, I want it. So it'll be great to be able to tell everyone like, yeah, absolutely, you can go ahead and get it and you'll be able to play it in English. That's fantastic.
Yeah, we talked to a fan. We opened a store in American Dream in New Jersey on Friday. And there's a whole Tamagotchi section in that. So anyone who's out there listening that lives in that area, please go visit the Bandai Namco store. But with that, we had a lot of fans there also asking for that specific shell. So like you said, we do follow our socials. So we do see everyone keep asking for that.
That's so great. I think I saw the post that Tama Palace made. I think Tama Palace was there for your opening, so I saw the post that they made. So that's great.
Yeah.
So I'm moving on down the list of my questions. We saw that Bandai Japan already announced that they're already planning a second wave of designs for these shells, which makes me wonder, will Bandai America also be going down that route of releasing more shells down the road with shell designs of the connection line?
Our plan is to do 4 shells each season. Well, in the single packs. As you know, we had the True Friends pack.
Yes.
I was that name wrong. The True Friends pack is adding 2 more styles, so 6 total. But right now, our plan is to do 4 styles, with the price being slightly higher than the original Tama. We didn't want to like force fans to go too far in buying so many different styles. So we thought we'd focus on 4 styles and then the True Friends, and then some maybe new shells each season.
That's fantastic. That is so great to hear. And I'm just so excited. I feel like a kid in a candy store. This is like one of those dream scenarios. One of the biggest questions that everybody has been asking, because, as I was saying, we're adults, we all have jobs, and we all have, busy lifestyles. Pause has been an important part of the connection line. I think this one doesn't have the pause function, but sort of like the original K-ties, you can sort of leave it on the clock set screen to keep it paused. Will there be an addition of a pause feature maybe down the road in a different iteration, perhaps?
Officially, there is no pause button. As you know, I think you may have asked this question on a previous product. In the end of the day, when you have a pet, you have to take care of it 24/7. So thankfully, with the Tamagotchi, it does sleep through the night, so you don't have any pets jumping up and waking you up in the middle of the night like our friendly cats and dogs do on a regular basis. Whether someone's figured something out to do something different, You know, Uni has the babysitter. Unfortunately, the original in Uni doesn't necessarily, I mean, the original and connections don't necessarily have that. But that's why there is no official pause, because of the fact
Okay.
that Japan, and there won't be one. To be honest, I
I
can answer
understand.
that
I
right
understand
away. Because of the fact that the programming is set as if it's a real pet, and you can't put your pet. I mean, I guess you could put them in a room, but that's kind of sad. You want to take care of them.
I understand. Thank you so much for that. So the other question that's, I'm sure you might have still noticed online is when the original Tamagotchi V3 was introduced, it introduced the whole concept of TamaTown. Is that something that we might be able to see returning down the line, perhaps in the original website format or maybe in an app format of some kind?
Want to do that one? Or you want me to do that one? Let me take the tricky one again. I'll be the mean one that will give the unfortunate answer, as at this moment, there's no plans to do the TamaTown. I think there's a lot of games out there from our sister company that allows you to have that TamaTown feel. And we do have the codes there, right? So what was, unless I'm missing something, and you know these products better than me. So because I was not a adult in the Tama land at this point when it launched back in the early 2000s. But from what I understand, TamaTown was a way to go in there and you could walk around and do a whole bunch of stuff. And our video games that are out there right now, or mobile games, however you want to call it, has that same play capability. The only thing that you are missing then in that regard is the codes, and there will be ways to get those items through, I think it's the website, Anita, right? So there will be code downloads. That play pattern will still happen in just in a different way.
Different way. Okay, because I did wonder, because one of the features, I don't know how familiar you might be with the features. There is, for example, the donation to the Tamagotchi King option here, where you can make, from what I recall, it's been a fair while. In the original Tamagotchi connections, you could make 3 types of donations to the king, and each time you would get a password, and then you would go to TamaTown, enter that password in, and the Gotchi King would give you an item. One was like a scepter, one was a crown, and then in the end, if you collected all 3 of them, if memory serves, was like 30,000 Gotchi points total, then you would get like the royal regalia that you would be able to sit on the throne with the whole outfit. I did notice that is in here, but not having TamaTown, I was like, wait, how is that going to work? But you're saying that there might be a different way to be able to get these passwords down the line. That is encouraging, I guess, that we'll still might be able to enjoy the passwords.
So programming is done in Japan, but Anita, do you have any idea how that project will work? Is it it's through the website, right?
Like the download?
Yeah, the codes that he's talking about, that play pattern.
Tamagotchi dash official.
Okay.
Yeah,
that is great.
Yeah, so that, as we don't launch until July 9th, so we still have another month to get all that stuff figured out. I don't know, Japan really hasn't 100% trained us on everything on how that's specifically going to work. We just know that play pattern will be part of the TamagotchiOfficial.com website.
That's amazing. So that's great. And that is very encouraging to know that, we'll still be able to have the whole password experience, because I was a little worried. I was like, wait, is that still going to be a thing? But that's great. I did notice there is a little secret password on the side of the box here. And so I wondered, is this going to be something that each different shell design is going to have a different password on the side flap like this?
Yeah, so that's the plan. Each shell has its own special code.
That's awesome. That's awesome. This one had the blue bubbles one had the soda, which was really cool. So I got to try that out and it worked absolutely fine. From the original connection line, I just remembered all the passwords that I had written down. So I punched them in on this one. Some of them worked, some of them didn't. But there were some items that definitely didn't work. So I'm hoping Bandai over time, sort of like the uni, will release more passwords and stuff down the line. Is that something we can expect?
I guess that is the plan, like with each shell, hopefully we will get more passcodes. And with the website, of course, so.
Okay, that's great.
Now,
What-
remember, as you mentioned, the programming is a merging of various programming from when we announced connections. So
Yes.
codes that you used might not work because those are some of the codes that might have been taken out so that the other programming can be included. Again,
Yes.
programming done in Japan from a Japan team, so we don't know specifically, and I think there's so many items, hopefully I didn't say too much there, that are going to be downloadable that, you know, we didn't do a comparison on which items
Okay.
which were not. But I believe there's a regular occurrence on the website of download codes that will be presented to you. Now you cheat the system by putting ones that you remember from the old school.
Anyone have any more codes to put in?
Be careful about that. You might hit that limit a little faster than the others.
Okay, okay. I will try to restrain myself. So, one thing I did notice, the first thing I actually tried was, can I connect these two together? But sadly, it doesn't seem they are compatible between the old and the new. So we'll have to wait for the official release, and get more than one to be able to enjoy. But I assume, similar to the connection line, these two will have the option to connect to play games, visit, and get married, correct?
Yes, that's correct.
That's great. One more question that I had. One thing that we saw again from Bandai Japan was the introduction of the nano lines. I think they're going to be introducing the first color model. A lot of people were wondering, oh my gosh, is that something we're going to see here? Or they were saying, now that Bandai is releasing the connections again, will we maybe see a color screen of the connection line, maybe like a backlight? Is that something that might be a possibility that you guys know about?
We honestly don't know. I mean, unless Anita knows something I don't, we're not aware of anything like that at this moment. I think what we've launched right now is our focus for the first year, at least I can say. What happens next fall is always the big question mark, right? As you know,
Yes.
fall is always a fun season as you just saw, how many products did we just announce over the last couple,
Yes, a lot.
Exactly. So I can't speak I will speak for the next year. Right now, there is no plans on that.
Okay.
Though I will tell you that Japan likes to surprise us on a regular basis. So, my gut tells me no. So I don't want to get I don't want people to read into me saying, well, who knows? And then it comes out later. I honestly don't believe they're going to do that. I think they're going to want to have this version of the connections out for at least a year or two before they make any major changes. But again, to be honest, the color nano was a surprise to us. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That actually is, I didn't think so, but I just still wanted to check. Because, there's always going to be some hope, like, can we also get this type of thing? But
are you guys never happy? Come on,
listen,
you guys
it's
asked
not
for
me.
years for connection on every post that we put on social. And now you're like, well, can we get more? Can we get more?
Can we get more? We are like kids in that sense. Like,
You're more the kid part of the adults.
yes, and no shame whatsoever. But no, seriously, I am beyond happy with the release of the connections. This is absolutely a dream come true, and it's 2024. I'm reliving the early 2000s with this. It's an absolutely remarkable moment in Tamagotchi history, and I want to say on behalf of all of us in the Tamagotchi community, thank you so much for listening to us, giving us the things that we hope that you might, and this is the embodiment of that. So we really, really do appreciate it.
Well, we like to keep our fans happy. You guys drive us crazy at times. But at the same time, that enthusiasm keeps us going for sure. Especially because there's things that gets thrown out there that we're like, it's an interesting thought idea that might be in the back burner of things for sure. Because, you know, I can tell you, I think some things have been asked for. There could be some surprises by the end of this year. We're done with the recent ones. I will tell you that. I don't think we have anything new and exciting to announce until maybe October timeframe. I think it's October timeframe.
Okay.
But you know, we like to hear from our fans. I want the fans to know that we do read and read what they say and what they ask for. There are some things that are just not, you know, and something for us to be able to do. And it is a global line. So we put in our request into the Japan team to see like, this is what we're looking for. This is what we want. And what our fans are asking for at the same time. Hopefully we're ahead of what the fans are asking for at this point. We do our best to get kind of in front of it. Though obviously, you know, there's so many fans that are so vocal that,
Yes.
you know, but there's a lot of fun stuff that's happening this year from a marketing perspective. We're really excited to see all the fan clubs. I'm not
Yes.
sure, are you doing the DC,
I
Maryland,
am.
the
I am
there's like a trifecta?
Yes, I'm absolutely trying to fit that into my schedule. DC is like 5 hours from where I live, but I still want to make that trip just to be able to meet fellow fans now that the connections are coming out. We're all in our 30s, not even shamed. I will walk out in the public with these. So I think
It's
I love that those are a thing and it's bringing people together. You know, as corny as it sounds, connection is connecting people together, which is lovely. So
yeah, that's pretty much a theme that goes across everything that we're doing right now, connecting fans, connecting generations, connecting, you know, just connecting friends, everything that's going on there. And we are so excited to see all the fan clubs that are popping up, you know, every 2
yes,
weeks there seems to be new ones coming from all over the place. And the size, like Toronto has like 50 plus members, New York like
yes,
30 or something, which I get those cities are really huge, but to think that there are Tamagotchi fans that are meeting on and it's like monthly up in Toronto. So those Canadians are big friends
yes.
of ours. You know, and you know, we are looking at, you know, as you know, we were at San Diego Comic-Con last year, and the year before. You know, I don't think
Uh-huh.
we'll be surprised that we'll be back, but there will be some fun stuff that we're planning at Comic-Con
Uh-huh.
that's new and different than what we've done in the past for sure. So,
Okay,
and then, like I
something
said, we have the
definitely to look
American,
forward to.
yeah, and then of course, like I said, we just launched the American Dreams, or the Bandai Namco Toys and Collectibles America store at the American Dream Mall in technically New Jersey, but though I think they claim New York. And there's a whole Tamagotchi section in there that is obviously not the connections yet because they don't come out for another month or another month. But we will try to get those in as soon as possible. But there you can have, you know, see the plethora of Tamagotchi world there.
That's amazing. So I saw the pictures that, you know, Tama Palace had posted and it looks so colorful and so lovely. And it is definitely hitting that nostalgia to be able to walk into the stores and see them up on the shelves. And that is such a special moment. And thank you guys for giving us that as fans.
No problem. I just keep being fans, and then my executives like to do stuff. So keeps
That's
us
awesome.
Any other questions for us?
I do have one last question.
Uh-oh.
I hope
Always that last one.
I think I know what the answer to this will be, but I promised the community I would ask regardless. So I'll
This
go
makes
ahead
me
and
so
ask.
nervous. I gotta like hide my facial expression.
So and this I think gave everyone hope that, oh my gosh, this is a reality now. This is happening. Like, this isn't a dream. You know, people are pinching themselves like, oh my gosh, this is actually coming out. And you guys chose the V3 as the official reboot version to launch. Now everybody is wondering, does that mean we might be seeing more of the versions 4, 4.5, 5, all the way to 6 that might be coming out? And I can already see your face. Saying you guys are
As I
never happy.
mentioned,
I get it.
our focus, our focus, and it's not actually V3. It's a couple, it's V3 with, I will say part of it is V3, but obviously it's taking the best focus. But I know people are
Yes.
asking for the music one and why am I
Like the
blanking?
Entama, the version 4, yeah.
Yeah, so like I said, our focus right now, especially for the next year, really is on this version. It takes a lot to put out even one version of it, to be honest.
Oh, I can imagine.
And so, as long as the fans continue to support us and purchase products and keep that excitement up, that helps feed to provide more and more different versions of it. As you know, we released original Tama in fall of 18, and we still have the same programming going there. So I know fans aren't happy about that, but we continue to sell more and more each season, to be honest with you, using the same shells. And a lot of that, which helps everyone, to be honest with you, is I know our fandoms are loving the shells because they say, we love the shells, can they be on Connection? So we know from a design perspective, you guys are really excited. And I know you guys are like, oh my God, Gen 1 and Gen 2 again, really? Can we do something different? And I think it's a matter of, we still haven't reached core America yet, the non-Tamagotchi fans. And the more fans that we can build, right? So you guys are our core fans and you're right there, you're supporting us and everything that we do. And you guys are amazing. We're never going to forget you. You guys will always be there. That's why social, we're constantly putting out surveys to ask what your opinions are and what you're looking for. But to make sure that we continue to be around longer and longer, we need to build that fan base bigger and bigger. So we've sold millions of, over 1 million units of the original Tama.
Wow.
More than that even at this point, because last year I think we shipped over that. I think it's a matter of there's still a large part of America, and especially the kids, because again, the longer we can, the more fans that we can bring into the brand to get that excitement level will help us build maybe beyond even devices at one point.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to make it my mission to walk around with these as much as possible to get as much exposure as possible. And I will say, I have never had one negative reaction from people. Everyone's always just excited to see. They're like, is that a Tamagotchi? And it starts this whole conversation. And I think that's how the fan clubs got formed in the first place. So I think it's a great thing to get the Tamagotchi conversation going. And we are here to support you, Bandai. Thank you so much for all you do.
And we appreciate that. And like I said, we too are looking at ways to support all the fan clubs that are out there. Unfortunately, we can't go to every single event that's out there because you guys, there's so many popping up, but there might be some times where we're able to pop in at a time. So
that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me today, and I hope to be able to do so again in the future. You guys have a fantastic evening.
See you soon. Bye.